This week in my Life Makeover Challenge with my friend in the Netherlands, we came to the halfway point of the book. We've skipped a couple of chapters because, quite frankly, we didn't need them. We're already retiree kind of / pensioners, so we don't have to worry about the financial thing other than making sure we still keep getting money. But overall, we've done just about every chapter, and reflecting upon it, as I've said before, going through this at 63 versus in my early 40s, it's a very different experience. We feel pretty settled in who we are, but there's always room for improvement. And I'm really glad I'm doing the book again because it's making me think about things differently. Like, what was I like in my 40s and where am I today as a consequence of even doing this book? And so many things have happened. I wrote my first book then. I got my first group of writer friends then. I developed strength in other areas, and I was courageous, fearless, and bold, and that was my intention. So when we set out to do this book again, we had to do that again, which brings me to week 30, the midway point. It's called Stop, Reflect, and Reward. You're now at the midway point. Think about how you've changed. Think about what you've improved. Think about the things that you've done in your life that have made an impact since you started the book. And I really thought about it, and I thought, well, I think the biggest change I made was going back to the change I made in my early 40s, the intention. I enjoy being courageous, fearless, and bold. That intention is something I write every week in my day planner, my Erin Condren day planner. And I love it because I always write 3 things that I want to do that week. That doesn't mean that everything gets done. Things happen, things get in the way sometimes. But for the most part, I have stuck to this week to show that I'm courageous, fearless, and bold, I'm going to do these 3 things. And out of doing that, I have so many new things in my life right now that are rewarding me for being courageous, fearless, and bold. So I'm very glad I made that my intention. So one of the things I wanted to keep doing was take care of my health, fitness, my health, losing weight, continuing the Zep bound, working out with a personal trainer, which we're nearing the end of that. So I really kind of feel like the I'm courageous, fearless, and bold intention is the thing that has driven me throughout this entire year. Before I started the book, I did things that I didn't think I'd do. This vlog, for instance, the transformation challenge that I did at my gym that got me started on the journey towards health and fitness. We traveled a lot. We've had a really good year since last August, but starting in January, it was really an intentional thing. So out of that, what's happened? Well, I'm doing the vlog, and now I'm learning how to do TikTok videos, and I'm using CapCut, and I'm probably not the greatest TikTok videographer, but I'm having fun with it. And I encouraged other friends of mine in writer world to do it as well, and they're having fun with it. In fact, one of them is like really enjoying how it's just increased her creativity for her writing. And anything that feeds your creativity is a good thing in my book because I write books. That's the other thing I did. I ended up finishing another book, the 6th book in my new series. I think I've written like almost 40 books now. Well, maybe 40 books with the new book that I just finished writing. I released that book and it did pretty well. And as part of my I enjoy being courageous, fearless, and bold, I applied for what's called a BookBub deal. And I got it, which is it's like a Russian roulette. You know, it's like a roulette wheel. You're lucky if you get it, but I got it and I went through it and I got ready for it. And I was courageous, fearless, and bold and asked a couple of people if I could put my information in their street teams. And they very graciously said yes. And I earned out my investment, which was great. And I'm still making money because I got what's called a read through. So I had the first book in my new series on sale and it moved. And then all these other books in my series started moving. And even more exciting for me is that then I could see on my Kindle Unlimited for my pages read, because I'm just pretty much all on Amazon now for streamlining my life purposes. I'm a busy bee and I don't have time to do all these other things. So I looked at it and I noticed that the series Crush, which is where Select Protectors was born out of, is now people are starting to read it. So I'm seeing new readers, which is the goal, to find people to read the books. Like I'm not just writing them for myself. I want to find new readers. So that's been very exciting. And it was because I took that step. I listened to someone who was very smart, Carmen Falcone. She's like, just do it. Just try. What do you have to lose? And I'm like, only money. And it went very well. It was exciting. The other thing that I did was I started editing my friend's book. And then I encouraged her to come out here and visit me. as a reward. And she came and we had a fabulous time, and out of that was born the Word Birds. So now I have my little tribe back again, and we're starting to get together on Zoom. And even though we live in different states, it doesn't matter. We can still communicate and talk about writing and talk about the business and talk about where we're going and brainstorm and do all of the things, and we can support each other. So this was my original tribe back before I moved to Texas. So I'm really glad I did that. I'm really glad I just opened up my mouth and said, why don't you just come see me? I was courageous, fearless, and bold. And doing the vlogs, doing all of that. And the TikTok thing sort of came out of, my little esthetician or whatever. She's like, you should do TikTok videos. And then you can move them over to Instagram and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a whirl. And it turns out I really like the format. I love TikTok. I love being on there. And I didn't think I would, but I really have enjoyed it. I've especially enjoyed watching all the World Cup soccer fans doing all their crazy shenanigans. Like the Scottish fans have been so much fun to watch. The Norwegian fans, the Dutch fans. I've just had a ball with that. And then I get to like interact with other writer friends, and there's just like seriously no drama on there. And I just love it. So my algorithms are super nice and easy. I've done all kinds of fun little things on there. I've made clips, I've done shorts, I've done book trailer videos, and I've really been able to have fun with it. And I got CapCut at a lower cost because they were running a special. I'm like, what the heck? It's an investment in my career, such as it is. I'm still writing really fun books. I like writing my books and I want them to sell. I don't care if I have 1 million readers, but I do like having readers. So it's exciting to put that information out there. And it's another place to meet friends, if you will, or another place to support the friends that you have. Like I can repost their videos and they can repost my videos. And am I getting 1 million views? No, but I don't care. I'm having fun. And that's just part of being courageous, fearless, and bold. Somehow it just is leading to more fun. The other thing that I have done is I applied for the modeling agency. I sent an email. I got their call back. I did my first little 15-second little commercial, and I got a contract. Who knew? And out of that, I decided, well, I better learn how to do this stuff, or, there's no point, because everything is self-videoed. Everything is sent in through you upload your videos to these different acting sites and stuff. And I know diddly about it. So I signed up for an acting class, and I've met some really nice people at the acting class. And I've had this will be my last acting class. I've had 2 months, once a week. I love the class. I've learned a lot about the business, but I am a very busy bee in July, and I'm not quite sure where I'm going to take this in August. I've been talking to a friend of mine who has professional acting credentials, and we could maybe work out an easier schedule for me, because it's 7:30 at night, and that is when this girl really just wants to wind down. It's a long night for me, but I've enjoyed it, and the people in the group have been great. They're supportive. They give good information. Some of us are very fresh and new. Some of us have more experience. So it's been fun to get that kind of support, and I will miss them next month. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do with that. But in the meantime, I'm researching some other avenues, and I'm having fun with that. And that's the whole point. I want to have fun. So, and out of that too, I have done auditions. I've done 3 or 4 auditions. Nothing came of them. Of course, nothing came of them. I know nothing about acting. I don't know how to really do an audition tape on my phone that well. I'm still learning, but I know what a slate is. I know how to set up my backdrop. I know what I basically have to do. So now it's like learning techniques, and I think that's the next step. Like I know a little bit more about the business, and now I want to learn more about the techniques of acting that I need, and I'm investigating some avenues for that. But I know what a slate is, and I'm going to do one. And in fact, I'm going to do another audition tomorrow for actually something that I don't think that I will get, because I'm not going to be here for one of the days that's required. But I thought, why not do it? Be honest. This is a day I cannot be there. This is a day I can be there. And it's just another thing for me to share with an acting coach, to say, this is what I have done so far. I've kept all my little audition tapes because I really want to do them better, and I want to get feedback on that. So I'm saving them all, and I'm practicing. I just consider it just good practice. I've reached out to my family that I'm close to. I've built relationships with family members. I'm very excited about that. I've also, maintained very good, nurturing relationships with my closest friends all over the world. My friend in the Netherlands, a really good friend in Tennessee, a really good friend in Virginia. I just feel like it's important to nurture those relationships. And I've made new friends and I'm nurturing those relationships. So those are all positive things. And that's all part about being courageous, fearless, and bold. How have I changed? Well, I've lost a little more weight. I'm a little stronger than I was when I started out this year. My labs came back great, so my health is doing well. I'm basically living the vida loca, I guess. I think the key for me is I'm learning things. I'm exploring new things. I'm going into them with a mindset of, well, it's okay if it's not perfect. Just do it and have fun. And that makes me more courageous, fearless, and bold. So the biggest thing that I did was live through that intention. So I feel like we're now at the midway point. I feel like it's been a good half year. Part of the reason we decided to do this, my friend and I, is we needed something positive in our brains because the world can be kind of crazy. And I want to think about positive and good and happy things, not negative and nasty things. So I'm really glad that we did this because it's made the year a lot nicer. And, we came into this year with good travel, with good everything. And then here we are 6 months later, and life is grand. I'm sitting here going, wow, we're planning another trip to Europe. We're going in September. We're going to have a great time. We have great plans in place. I'm going to get to see people I love again. I'm going to get to see other people I love soon. So I'm really happy about that. And so in living with that intention and making it part of my every week, I sit down and I write it down in my planner. I see every week what I'm going to do, why I'm going to do it, what my intention is, and I follow through. And does that mean everything gets checked off? No, but things can get moved. For instance, one of the things that I was going to do was a podcast. But in talking with my other acting students and in finding out just what all was involved in doing a podcast simultaneously to the vlog, I realized I would be diluting my energy too much. And I'm already spread fairly not thin, but I already have a lot going on. I have the gym. That is a commitment. I mean, I know it's a privilege, but it's also a commitment. By the time I leave here, get there, work out, do the stretches, take care of myself, do the working out, go reward myself on the hydro massage chair, then come home. It's at least 2 hours. So that's the other thing. I have to schedule that in around my writing. I've just finished another book. That's another accomplishment. I'm getting ready to send that to my editor. I'm hoping to get the 7th book in my new series, Select Protectors, out probably the end of September, beginning of October because of the travel. Like I'm balancing a retired husband with my schedule, with what I need to do for me. And I'm also doing this little acting thing. So that's sort of taken some time up too. So I kind of feel like overall, the last 6 months have been fabulous. I've had a really good 6 months. I'll call it an A. I give myself an A for the last 6 months. I'm grading myself and I'm like, yeah, I got an A. So the next thing is I've stopped, I've paused. Now I have to reward myself. Like I said, I'm going to do a mani-pedi, but I was planning one anyway. So I kind of feel like I build in reward as often as I can. Like when I go to the gym, 99% of the time I do use the hydro massage chair after. It's amazing and it feels good on your muscles, and it's a nice little 10-minute little look at the beach, look at whatever video you want. It's just mellow. I sometimes do the sauna, depends if it's hair washing day. And so I do feel like I reward myself. I've learned a lot about how important it is to take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. And I've worked hard on that, especially this year because, pretty much since last August or before, like we went on a trip we were in Europe a year ago. We weren't even back from Europe a year ago. We were in Europe. We were in the Netherlands. And it's so exciting to think that we're going back there again. I'm really excited about it. So in general, life is good. And I think that the intention was the driving force behind the last 6 months going so well. And I can't say enough good about this book. I have recommended it to many people. It's still relevant today. Although in talking with some people about it, the big distractor back in my day was MySpace and emails and phone calls. Now we have so much social media, it's crazy. But you can still be in the driver's seat. You can still put DND, do not disturb, focus on your phone, whatever you need to do to not be distracted. And you can get a lot done. I get all my writing done in the morning usually. I do the not so exciting part of being a published author in the afternoons. And that's the other thing. Because I'm not going to do the podcast, I've decided to make what I was going to make the podcast about into a regular vlog. It's going to be called 50 Plus fabulous, visible, and vital. And I'll talk about what it's like to be 50 plus years old, how you can remain fabulous, visible, and vital in the months ahead. That is something that I will be working on with great intention starting in August, because we are really busy in July. So it's going to be a scatter shot. In fact, I will probably be a little bit not regularly on here for a while, but I'm going to try to get a few little videos done and get them edited and scheduled. But other than that, that's the one thing. The other thing I will be continuing to do the life makeover updates, because I think it's fun and I think it's good to learn about how to improve your life no matter what age you are. You're never too old to learn new things. You're never too old to try new things. And you're never too old to improve yourself. Like, we're not perfect people. We have room to grow. So let's grow. Let's grow together. So that will be a regular feature. I'm also going to talk a little bit more about the writing and the writing process. I'm going to reincorporate some of my writing tutorials, videos, just process kind of stuff to share with people who are potentially wanting to become writers. I've had 2 or 3 people talk to me lately about writing, mostly nonfiction, which I can edit. I've been an editor as well. I can edit nonfiction. I've done it for other people. I've done it with my own Triumph Over Adversity. I pulled that together and then had some professional editing done on it, and then I went through it again. So I've had a few people approach me about that, and I'm excited about it. I think that's just the universe rewarding me for good behavior, maybe. Maybe my karma is just like flowing really, really well because I'm putting as much good karma out as I can, and I think that's important. So life is good. So there will be 50 plus, fabulous, visible, and vital. That's going to be something we'll be talking about more. I've been getting a lot of really interesting articles and ideas about that. Also, the Life Makeover book. Ta-da! I love this book. I recommend it. Cheryl Richardson is still relevant. And also something about the writing process. And then probably just like, hey, regular catch up on. This is where the life transformation is going. This is where the fitness is going. This is where the acting is going. Just like a little, hey, things are going better, or things are this, or things are that. So I hope that as you are in the middle of your year, that it's going great and that you've got fun things planned for the summer. If you don't, I hope you start planning them. And remember that if you write things down and you tell yourself you're going to do something and you see it, chances are you will. So I'm going to go back out there. I'm going to be courageous, fearless, and bold. My goals for this week were to do the vlog, to do a couple of other things with my writerly world. And those are coming together very nicely. And I've got my book finished, so I'm happy. That's probably not good because I can get into a little trouble when I'm between books, but we'll see. I'm starting to ponder the next book in the series, and I'm excited about it. But I'm giving myself a little bit of a brain break and enjoying just rewarding myself for getting this last book done, because I know revisions will be coming, because the first draft is never the last draft. Remember that if you think you want to be a writer. So we'll have some fun things coming up. I hope you have a great day, a fabulous week, and I'll see you again.